Hi, I'm Denise Bourne, and I just finished doing the August cover shoot for NAILPRO magazine.
And this is Stephanie Lavery. Denise, I am so happy to have you here today. You've been in this industry for a long time, and this is the first time you've been here to do the cover for us, so thank you for coming.
Thank you so much, Stephanie. This is an honor for me to be here. I've been reading this magazine for many, many years, and it is my favorite with all the nail art and just being in the industry. So thank you for having me.
We haven't done a French design in a long time, and I think this one is super chic and very modern. So let's talk about how you did it. Let's start with the shape, because you went with a square shape opposed to the kind of usual almond.
Yeah, so I decided to go with the square shape just because we haven't seen it around in a while, and it's very classic. It also tapers a little bit at the tip instead of just being the full-on square rectangle shaped nail, more a little bit tapered at the top, making it look a little more elegant. I feel with the French looks really pretty.
We're seeing that square nail, I think, a lot with these young starlets and the Kardashians, so I'm glad that we decided to do this on our cover.
Yeah, I'm actually doing a lot of this shape lately on my beauty editorials just because it's a little bit different than the almond shape to have the square shape. Just brings it a little more current to the look.
For the sake of this shoot, we added tips to the model's nails, but you certainly can do this with a sculpted nail of any kind. So let's talk about getting the right color tone first, because this was a little bit of a process.
Yeah, we had a little challenge with the color tones. The light pink that we originally chose was a little too bright, washed out, if you say, with the model skin tone. So we kind of used a couple colors together and we created our own tone, which made, once we put the white for the tip for the French, it made the pink pop a little better.
Is this something that you do a lot in your work, mix colors together?
I wouldn't say a lot, but yes, it has actually come up in the past. There's only so many colors in the color world that you have, so you always maybe want to tweak it a little lighter, a little darker. I have thousands of polish, and I never have enough polish, if that makes sense.
Do you have any suggestions or tips for when layering or mixing colors together?
Well, there's a couple ways you can do it. You can either take a little bit of each polish and take just like an empty bottle, pour the different polishes in and kind of mix your own. Sometimes I'll do it on a little piece of tin foil and just kind of dip my brush in and kind of apply it like that. That works as well.
Once we got the color just right, then you went in with the white. And you didn't do the standard free edge, you added a little tweak to it. Talk about how you created that.
So for the white tips, I took just a regular thin, tiny paintbrush, and I painted the straight line did the left side first and then the right side, and then I took the actual polish bottle and filled in the white, almost like I was drawing inside the lines, like when you color, just to make sure that that line is completely straight, and you get that nice opaque of the white. And I used a couple coats of the white to make it really bright.
I'd like to go back for a second, too, because I did notice about using a different brush. You used a little brush around the cuticle first when applying the polish. Why did you do that?
Well, that is a special technique that I came up with on my own. Being an artist and doing a lot of miniature detail brushes, I just feel like I get a nice clean line around the cuticle and the side walls of the nail. It gives me like my base, again, coloring in the lines, and it's less cleanup work to get polish on the skin, and then you have to use acetone, and it makes like that residue, leaves that white residue. So it just makes it cleaner, and especially with dark colors too, you can see, so you just kind of just do it around the edges and then just fill in the rest with the brush of the polish.
Another way you changed up this style to make it a little bit more modern was to add a matte top coat. Do you have any tips with working with matte top coats, especially when you're dealing with light colors and whites, which are already tricky to deal with?
Absolutely. I do love the final look of the matte, but it is very challenging because technically you don't have a top coat with like a quick dry. So the matte, even though it leaves a beautiful matte finish, if you scratch it or dent it, it's very difficult to fix. So what you have to do is just make sure the polish is completely dry before you apply the matte. And you always want to start, just do the cuticle and do the color first, and then lift up the brush and kind of come back and do the white separately, just to make sure you're not dragging the brush from one color to the other.
And then, of course, my favorite part of any look are the embellishments. And what I liked about what you chose is you added a little pop of color to the mix. How did you choose the enhancements and how did you apply them?
I chose a few different embellishments. I did a couple of rhinestones. I always like rhinestones just because of when the light hits the stone, it's very shiny and pretty, and I like shiny. And I love rhinestones and sparkle. And then I used a few of pink matte embellishments just to kind of go with the same matte look. And I added a couple of little circular silver little studs just as filler. I think it's very classic and pretty, but not too, I didn't want it to look too junky. Sometimes embellishments tend to look very junky and heavy, and I wanted it to look very clean and classic with the French. And I adhered them with a builder gel instead of using just a glue. Sometimes the glue, the rhinestones tend to pop off sometimes, unless you use like a heavy, heavy glue, and then just faster using the builder gel. You cure it for a couple seconds, and it's done. You don't have to top coat it or anything.
Well, thank you again, Denise, for coming out here. It has been a pleasure working with you. I think that our readers are going to love them. So thank you very much.
And thank you, Stephanie, so much for having me. It's been an amazing day. I've had so much fun, and hopefully I get to do it again.